Ron and I did a thing.
Yeah, we did a thing.
Yeah, we did a thing.
This is the hour, the darkest place.
Well, today is the day. We're taking it down for an inspection, so hopefully we'll be able to get this license up soon.
Good world going bad.
All right, Cinderella, there she is. Now we just wait and see if she passes inspection. Hopefully I can drive her home tomorrow. So we weren't able to get the Delica fully inspected when we took it to Canadian Tire. It seems like after we did the ball joints, there's a little bit of play in one of the tie rods. So we ended up having to order a tie rod. We ordered that from Coombs. It came within 2 days, which is absolutely incredible for where we live. But we got it in. We got the tie rod in. We got the inspection passed. Everything was good. Took it that same day down and to Westland and got the insurance on it. It was a bit of a long process. It was about an hour, hour and a half. Calling back and forth and making sure certain forms weren't needed. The RIV, which we'll go into in the next video, we're going to do a full, from the time we decided to buy a Delica, all the paperwork, everything that was needed. So during the week, we decided we'll just take a drive out to the Beaver River, going through the West Calum side, West Calum Forest Road side. So we didn't go into Red Sand this time, but we did go into the Hart Farm. We went all the way to the Beaver. We did find a couple of really sweet little areas along the lake that I think we're going to take this bad boy out, take Cinderella out, and do a short little camping trip.
The 3-point-something liters.
Chevron?
Shell.
Or Shell, I think.
So this would have been, but this had liters on it as well, probably mid-70s. The old Beaver River Bridge. Alright, I am not a good cameraman. Candace is working today, so you're getting me. Now that was, I know I didn't explain what I was doing, an exercise in making the British Columbia license plates actually fit this Japanese vehicle without it looking terrible. Not 100% sure I'm thrilled with the front yet. The back looks good. But we do have a set of lights to mount as well, so this could be temporary. So, unfortunately, this stereo doesn't have any North American channels on the radio. As much as my wife would love to have it in here just because it speaks Japanese to you, we're looking at changing it out. So, not really sure how this comes apart, but we're gonna hopefully show everybody in case you got to do it yourself. Anytime there's screws, that's a fairly obvious one. Take those out. I felt it move, so I think that's... This feels solid up here though. And there is a cover back here, I suspect. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's funny how they make vehicles for different markets, different areas. A lot of times they come apart exactly the same way. Get some screws back here for this. I think I probably gotta get this out of the way. And you can usually tell just by putting a gentle pull on there if it's going to be clipped in or screwed in, and I could tell this top piece was held on by screws just by how solid it was, but again, this is all just going to come loose. Take this right off, get it out of the way. This I think should just then, no, it's still solid at the top, and there are two screws right here. Not sure if that's all. Okay, well, let's keep going with the screw part. There's some here that hold that little gauge set in place. And I feel like there must be something underneath it because it's still feeling tight. That's what was holding it. And then of course we have all these little clips for all the gauges. Hazards, defrost. This one doesn't like me. Reset the clock after. Okay, that was actually very simple to get at the radio slash stereo. Now I'm pulling it apart right now, but it very well might not be going back together until I can get a wiring adapter or something. Let's see what's back here. So this is the stereo that we kind of plan on putting in. It's used, it was in another vehicle I had. It's basically in really good shape, but the wiring does not add up. So this one is different than this one. I could cut all these and just wire it to this, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather leave the factory alone and cut this and change this off. So I'm going to try and get one of those. We'll see if we can find one that has that end to the factory, this end to the stereo. Worst case, I might cut this and adapt it here, if need be. We'll try and make it easy and get one of those first. So I could not find the proper connector in town. Probably could order it, but this is for the stereo and I don't really want to wait. I got it all apart, so I think I'll just wing it. So this end plugs into the vehicle side. This is the stereo side. As you can see, it doesn't work with the old stereo side. So fairly straightforward. I'm just going to start cutting these off right now. Just get this. Probably should have just done this from the start, but I was trying to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this connector, garbage. Don't need it. This end, don't need it. We're just going to cut that off. Okay, so again, fairly universal. Speaker wires. There's 2 gray, 2 white, 2 purple, 2 green. Those are speaker wires. Other connector, we have 2 green, 2 purple, 2 white, and 2 gray. So those are going to add up nicely. Perfect. Then we have, on this connector, we have this blue, which is basically a, I think it's an antenna control. We have this blue, not sure what it does, to be honest. We have an orange, which is illumination, and I think that dims your stereo if it's hooked up and you have a dimmer on your high beam, low beam. Sorry, your headlights. Red is constant power, sorry, switched power, constant power, yellow, ground. So the only thing I'm not sure about on this is we have yellow, 2 yellows, interestingly enough, one with a fuse on it. Don't understand the fuse considering that it's fused in the vehicle side, but it's there. Then we have red, we have the orange illumination, which we don't need to hook up. And then the only other one we have is blue. So I need to know, and I'll check that on the vehicle, which one is ground. Because the yellow should add up to yellow, the red should add up to red. The blue, I guess, is going to be the ground, but I need to check that. So funny enough, I started to drive down to see if I could find that plug-in for the stereo, only to find out that the signals don't work without that hazard switch plugged in. So I had to just kind of put that back on for a second. Okay, so this is what I was saying. This is the vehicle plug. So colors are completely different on the Japanese side. So what I want to do is just kind of figure out which one is which. What did I do with that? Okay. Yellow is constant power, like I thought. Turn that key on. And we have power on red. So, as suspected, constant power, ignition power. Yeah, there we go. Test lights coming up. So what I want to know is which one of these is a ground. So I'll just hold that to that. Nope. There we go. Interesting. Orange is ground. Never seen that before in my life. I've never ever seen orange be a ground before. White, yes. Black, of course. Okay, so now we can wire this up. I know what to do. Okay, so didn't think anybody really wanted to sit there and watch me put all that together. Straightforward. It's done. The only thing you want to make sure of when you do this, and speaker wire, see that's got a black tracer wire in it, they call that, and then black tracer wire to that one. The other one is considered clean, no tracer. It'll still work. They say it just doesn't give as good a sound. So, moment of truth, we'll go out and sorry, take you for a walk here, see if this is gonna work. Just doing a dry test right now, just to see before we heat shrink all of these wires. Even though this is inside, I like to use heat shrink connectors. Sorry, I am not a good cameraman. Candace is working today, so you're getting me in all my imperfect camera work. We're gonna pretend you can see that. Right way. Okay, put that in there. Plug that in there. Key on. Oh, a little light came on, so that's good news. Oh, I don't care about any of this. I'm gonna go there and just go finish. I don't have anything else. So tuner. Let's see if we can set her. Huh. We have everything but CFNR. I'm sure that'll come. Don't know how to really work this, so.
Don't be afraid of those keys.
Anyways, it works. So now I'm gonna go heat shrink all this together. Probably that. That was a little weird. Alright, I'm happy with that. And you can see there's a few wires left. These are for things that this car doesn't have. Power, what was it? Power antenna, steering wheel controls. The vehicle side actually has for a power antenna, but the vehicle does not have. Could have been equipped, I guess. Yeah, just stuff we don't need. Okay. These little brackets on the side were on the old stereo. All I did was just swap them over to what I think will work. And it will work, I just have to get past a couple of things here.
All right, like I said, the next video is going to be a full disclosure on everything, all the paperwork and what's needed from start to finish, because I really wanted this build to be the pros and cons of doing what we did. The next step is actually go the auction route. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. You know, this sucker drives so nice. I'm going up the airport hill right now and not passing cars. I'm doing the speed limit. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but it just cruises along so nice. So nice. Really, really comfortable.